what?
You just hit mute on that. Yeah, I think you gotta stop hearing ourselves a few seconds ago. All right.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Decision that's your problem.
Earlier today.
I know, it's fucking, yeah.
And Jake's thing and got his own house. I still no.
Still got some paint fumes coming out of there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, is that, yeah,
Oh,
they painted it today.
So that's harsh.
Where is a
That's not
Good
good.
folks walking around.
and
You want me to shut this a little bit? That bothering you or?
Doesn't bother me, but
You mentioned, you know, that's a 4-foot wide door.
sign up for
Is it
this.
really?
It's a
Big door.
He's like,
that's huge.
What?
most teachers are just.
You gotta get on the screens back there.
Go.
Absolutely.
We had issues with this last time.
We've got the VGA.
CGA 2. Yeah, they're not up here either.
You have it plugged in.
Hey, we were addressing other issues at first.
Well, wait.
It's huge.
She wants.
There we go. We got them on monitors here.
She wants you to do in like a certain, you have to show.
So they did come.
And I'm like, I always figured when I go to conferences and there's like, there's a teacher, but there's a line.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, no wonder my kids have an issue. Oh, Spillin was one for my. But not-
It's stable.
no. Right?
Yes.
You know how it's very nice. Of this.
They didn't come out.
Um,
It's all the money.
No, I'm letting them.
That's what I did, but that's fine.
So I don't know.
I think he was past. Yeah.
He hopes he's gonna work.
Yeah.
But he got it here.
This one is always gonna mess me up.
I don't know.
And we have quorum from people online, right?
We have, yes, yes.
Okay,
Come in.
perfect. I will call to order the September 26, 2022 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting at 5:46 PM. Hillary, would you call the roll for us, please?
Samuelson,
Here.
Forrest. Isn't he on there?
He's up there.
Forrest? Muted.
Boris. I just know he's online for now.
Okay. Grant?
Here.
Brown?
Here.
Thompson?
Here.
Steiger? Reganator?
Here. Item number 4 is approve the August 22, 2022 minutes of the regular Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Any edits to the agenda? Or I'm sorry, the minutes?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
The items.
Okay. No, that's okay. Item number 5, no, sorry, I messed up the order. That was my fault too, Elliot. So we just did the minutes, so now I gotta go back. We need to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. So any changes? Motion,
Motion. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
Aye.
Elliot. Sorry about that. Item number 5 is a request from HRC Norwalk LLC for approval of the final plat of Holland Point Plat 2. Elliot, would you brief us, please?
Yep, if you guys recall, we went through the prelim plat and site plan process for this not that long ago. Staff report. Or if the final plat dimensions look a little bit different in here, that's because they've decided to final plat in 2 phases. If you'll remember, this part of Holland Point was relatively rectangular and squared off. It didn't have that notch at the bottom. They're just going in 2 phases. That phasing line was shown on the prelim plat and site plan, just for the record. So this is just the first of those phases. I suppose we'll probably see phase plat 3, in the not too distant future. It contains 9 fourplexes, 9 duplexes that match all the lot dimensions that were shown on the site plan. And part of the public improvements here, you can even see on the aerial image that Esri has, was some of the grading work being done for the trail. And that is a part of the site plan build out process for this entire area. So that's all I have. I believe we have representatives for the project here, or I can take questions as well.
Did you say is the sidewalk that's currently along Beardsley that kind of ends at Elizabeth Holland, is that going to be continued? Am I not seeing it on
This
here?
one?
Yes.
Yeah, eventually that'll cut across. Luke, do you remember, is that within the scope of the Beardsley improvements that we are doing, the extension of the trail east, or?
Yes, I believe that's part of the Beardsley project. The idea would be that the on-street trail was a city project as Beardsley got widened as the chunks went along. But we kind of had the side benefit of the development trail that kind of cuts through the middle, will provide a connection to the Echo Valley entrance all the way over to the park once everything gets built out to the park.
But that would be part of Holland Point's issue to put in the sidewalk. You guys aren't paying for it, right?
The one on Beardsley?
Yeah.
I'd have to talk to Wayne this section with that. If we had participation with them on it, it'd be for 5 foot of sidewalk, because that'd be the sidewalk requirement. And the city would pick up the other cost for trail.
And so it did, and then part of this, it said that there is going to be a turning lane that is
Yes.
added, and that will go in at the same time as this, or are you waiting until Beardsley gets redone?
We have an agreement, a turn lane agreement with Hubble. I forget the cost amount, but essentially Hubble agreed to participate financially, and the city expanded our Beardsley project. Our Beardsley widening project was going to stop at the park, but we widened it down to the first entrance into Holland Point, and then they financially are assisting us with that project. So it'll be one project. We start that next summer. So depending on timing, this will probably be there for a little while before everything's all done. But from a traffic standpoint, it should be that big of an issue because it's going to be a build out time frame.
So hypothetically, the next summer, you'll start with the widening and then add the Beardsley
Yep.
sidewalk.
This is an all over question, particularly though it is coming because of what I see now over on this project. When we ask for berms between the street or other neighborhoods and berms, is there a prerequisite that they provide? The trees and the bushes that are going in on this berm project up and down Beardsley, I'm guessing 25 years before they're 5 feet. I mean, they are the littlest trees I've ever seen. It's very sparse. It's very nothing. And I was just asking her how the backside towards her project and the fields is. And I've gone down Beardsley on the other hand. It does look like it's better berm across from the lake in that area. I'm not sure, but I've already heard, I mean, it looks like big tree branches growing out of the grass. That's kind of like a weed.
you transplant.
Hey, this is Jason, and I'm not able to hear anything right now.
Okay, let me make sure Mike's not muted.
Well, I get that. But it also
There
depends
we
on
go.
what kind of tree.
Sorry,
you're
Jason, it was
planting. If
muted.
you're planting a
Okay.
SOPA, you're not gonna still see it, small or not, until 20 years from now.
Well, and unfortunately, that's the way most of it works. I mean, the planting a larger diameter tree in most species is gonna result in slower growth long-term for 20 years. The
But that
point
whole
is,
street looks like you put in like 3 trees only. So my point is really to the city, or so that we know as a planning, when we ask for a berm, is there specifications for this berm?
Like specific types of trees or?
Or no, like,
sizes, or-
I mean, how full should we expect it? I mean, if you're gonna go in and do a berm in one area and they're gonna spend $10,000 and we have one area that's spending $1,000 for even a longer. I'm just asking, when do we find the middle ground on that?
So the landscaping standards in the zoning ordinance say that it's supposed to be a 3-foot high berm, and there is a tree density quota that's supposed to be met. And because of the way the planting schedules work, that's something we try to be a little bit flexible with in terms of just the timing of all of it. But that is shown on the site plan that you guys and council approved
Right,
a month or so ago.
so it's a 3-foot berm. And there's a density thing that I'll have to go back, I'll go back and look it up.
And it depends on how wide the buffer is for it. Our base width is, I think, 30 feet. And then the density of plantings varies depending on how wide that buffer is. So
Write that down.
And I haven't driven by that, so is it what kind of trees?
there's a variety of trees, and actually you'll notice there's quite a few dead coniferous trees out there, which we're in the process of getting replaced right now. One of the things we discovered in the past year or two is that we are going to try and get more flexibilities in that coniferous tree planting. I know from a screening perspective, it's desired, but the death rate of new trees that have been planted in the past couple of years is incredibly high, to the point where landscapers aren't even wanting to plant them. So that's kind of a ongoing issue that all across central Iowa, and I'd encourage you to reach out to other cities if you think I'm just saying this here to appease you tonight, because it's not, it's the reality. But we need to find that flexibility in those materials and really start to listen to our landscapers. One of the things that's interesting, really has nothing to do with the final plat, but just for good information, is, you know, typically in the United States, there's different zones and what you can plant things. They're actually in a debate about changing what zone Iowa's in, because of kind of the weather changes over the past 10 to 15 years, suggesting we're more like another zone that we're currently in, which could change all the species that are proposed to be planted. So something interesting to pay attention to, but we need to get those trees fixed. We're in the process of doing that. But we know that we planted them per the planting schedule that was provided in that site plan in that area. So
Any other questions from members of the commission? Hearing nothing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request.
One more question, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
Are you allowing fences on the Beardsley side at all?
if they're in the rear yard and outside of the landscape buffer easement, the city would permit fences there. If they're private covenants, they're saying no, then. Like Caleb
this is a
said,
townhome community. So like if we had single family lots in there, typically we would still allow them to do that fence outside of that buffer easement area. But given it's a townhome community, we won't have any fences there.
But if it was a fence, it would be, does it have to be metal fence versus a big wood fence?
It depends on the community we're in, but again, these are townhomes, so we don't have any fences in here, so.
Thank you.
that was a really good question. I'll entertain a motion to approve the final plat of Holland Point Plat 2.
Motion. Second?
Could you call the roll, please?
Brown,
Yes.
Thompson.
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
He's on a name only.
I guess so. Grant,
I
Reagan.
Aye.
called him in hear you.
I guess, Carson, if you feel like chatting your answer, that probably
That would be fine.
would count
Is sufficient.
if you're having mic problems, so.
Okay, item number 6, request from Diligent HCC
Carson's
LLC
yes.
and Bull Run Holdings LLC for approval of the preliminary plat of Hughes Century Crossing Plat 7. Elliot, would you please brief us on this issue?
Yeah, so something that I put in the summary in the staff report is primarily the purpose of this preliminary plat is to allow for infrastructure construction. We're mostly, and there's Tim right now, he's with this agenda item. So mostly what we're dealing with is laying out where that Chatham extension is going to go east of Hughes Drive, where East 18th Street is going to connect up into that Chatham extension, and then the next phase extending Chatham east of there. The way that the parcels in this plat line up, parcels 1 and 2 in the PUD match the boundaries of parcel B and parcel C in the PUD. And because those are high density and medium density parcels, they will require site plan approval before anything can be built there. That's site plan approval here and at city council. And then the same goes for the areas in parcel G and E. So the entirety of this preliminary plat is in parcels G, E, B, and C. So approving this preliminary plat won't allow construction of any buildings, but it is a important step in getting public improvements in for the roads, as well as the trail that's going along the gas easement. That's all I have for this item. Happy to answer any questions, and I believe we have representatives on for this item.
I would just add as well that Chatham connection and the East 18th is one of the critical pieces to get to the Norwalk core thing and everything. So, the timing of this is we're trying to line up when this will actually be constructed with when the core will open and all that stuff. So that way we'll have good access there. And that the project is developer constructed, but then the city has development agreement we've been working on with them. That spells out all. I don't remember all the details of it. I guess Tim probably could go into the details if he wanted to, but it will be a TIF agreement to basically, I'm assuming, pay back the cost, the certified cost for the road construction.
Any questions from the commission? Tim, did you have anything you wanted to add for us to consider?
Nope, I think Luke and Elliot covered it pretty well, unless there's questions for me. Most of this is covered in a development agreement that was already approved, so no real update on that quite yet. But happy to answer any questions. Thanks.
Hearing nothing further from the commission, I'll entertain a motion to approve the preliminary plat of Hughes Century Crossing Plat 7.
Brown motions.
Second.
Lori, would you call the roll?
Thompson,
Aye.
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest, Grant,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Reagan.
Aye. Item number 7, request from Loving Cup LLC for approval of the final plat of Scooters addition to Norwalk. Elliot, could you brief us, please?
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about items 7 and 8 kind of at the same time because they're inextricably linked. The first item here is the final plat that will simply create the development lot for the site plan of item number 8, in addition to another development lot as they're splitting this lot in half. So final plat, pretty simple. It's the hard corner up at northeast corner of Highway 28 and Beardsley Street. They're splitting it almost exactly in half, which still maintains the required frontage for the C2 zoning district. So that's excellent that they're able to do that. Each lot is a little over 3/4 of an acre. I suppose the one they're building on is right about at an acre. And they had to, this is a little bit of a challenging lot just because of how it's bordered on 3 sides by roads. So it has a significant amount of front setback, but because it's in a PUD, that's 30 feet setback instead of 50 in a typical C2 area. And so the site plan that was submitted this is a good overview sheet of how it looks. Primary access off of Marketplace Drive. They are going to be doing, there's Ed on Eddie Cool joining the meeting. So the overview here, we have completion of a drive aisle, not only east-west across the site, but also connecting to the Mercy site to the north. All the utility installation within the public right-of-way on Marketplace was completed ages ago, so access to that is pretty easy. And they've got, one of the things that we don't encounter much with site plans is drive-throughs, and something that's in our zoning ordinances, you need enough queuing space for at least 11 automobiles. This one has 13 automobile spaces available, in addition to parking on the north side of the lot. You can see the building footprint where it's at, and they've added some signage submissions. Usually we get that after the site plan's approved, so I went ahead and threw those in just for your guys' reference. So if you've driven around Des Moines Metro and seen the newer scooters buildings, this one will look pretty similar. It does meet all of our architectural standards after doing a materials list review. That's about all I have for the commission. I think we do have some folks calling in on behalf of the project. Otherwise, happy to answer any questions.
So the 13 parking spaces because of our wording escaping me on this Monday night.
Parking requirements, zoning ordinance.
Yep.
Because I was like, never been to a scooters where I need to go park. I would say, it does look a little weird on that, but second of all, it will be good to see that parking might be used for the walkers at the lake, actually.
Sure.
If that other street behind never gets finished. But anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. Do you have any idea what they're talking about for the other side?
No, we've had no discussions about the submission for the other lot.
Okay.
Do you know, does Scooters satisfy the coffee brewing requirements required by Norwalk?
They better have mine ready every day.
I want it to be good. You know what I'm saying?
I can't say that I know, but I have faith in their business practices based on their rapid expansion.
Okay, Elliot. Thank you for that, Elliot.
Is Bill Wright one of those people who are on? He usually pushes scooters everywhere.
I'm not sure.
Good evening, Commission. This is Jake Burnett. I'm one of the owners with the Scooters Coffee franchise group here. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, and we'll definitely be sure to brew some high quality coffee for you guys and get it ready quick.
Appreciate that. It's important. I like the LLC name, by the way. Is it
Thank
Loving Joy?
Loving Cup.
Loving Cup. Beautiful.
Yes, we'd like
Good
to serve a
choice.
loving cup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did want to point out one other change in the plans that came after the bell on Friday. Very, very small, but I try to point this stuff out. That blue line that you see on the site plan here is a retaining wall. Initially, that was in a gas easement. It's now no longer in the gas easement. So if you looked at the original version of this and saw that conflict, it's been taken care of. So.
Is that center line between the 2 lanes of traffic going to have any actual barrier, or it'll
No.
just be lines?
That's just the parcel line splitting north and south, and there will be a ingress egress document for transversing that space.
Any other questions from the commission?
We may have more coffee shops than bars again. Gotta get through the day.
So I think we still need to, we need to move on the motion separately. Is that right?
Correct. We need
Okay.
a motion for final plat approval, then
Okay.
the site plan.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the final plat of Scooters addition to Norwalk.
Second.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest,
Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Thompson, Reganator.
Aye. And then I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan of Scooters Coffee Norwalk.
Brown motions.
Hillary, would you call the roll, please?
Samuelson,
Aye.
Forrest.
Yes.
Yes. Grant,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye with an exclamation point.
Thompson, Reganator.
Aye. Item 9 is the city council update from Ed Poole. Ed, do you have an update for us?
No, not really. I'm sorry. I just came in from mowing the lawn a minute ago and noticed the time clock, so I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, you're not in Florida getting ready for the hurricane?
No, but I talked to my brother-in-law this morning. He's down on the Cayman Island, him and his wife. And they took a video of the hurricane coming in just so we could see it. So they're gonna be off on the right side of the hurricane, I think, as it passes over them.
All right, well, thanks, Ed.
Yes, ma'am. That's my latest update right there.
I don't think we have Holly joining us tonight, but Luke, do you have an update for us on community development?
Sure. Big thing we've got going on is wrapping up the comprehensive plan. We spent the last couple of weeks meeting with our department heads, going over the last bit of goals and strategies, making sure that every thing lined up with their own kind of departmental ideas for the city, which we did for the most part. So our next P&Z meeting, we're looking at having our consultants in here to run through that with you guys. That'll be a formal public hearing as well. And then that will go to council. The last meeting in November, we had a conflict with the first meeting with the consultant's schedules. So, and then once we have that, we'll have a new updated plan and we can start implementing stuff. So.
Elliot, anything from you as far as updates? No. Perfect. Thank you. Our next meeting is October 10th at 5:45 p.m. and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Longest day you guys are running. Indigenous People Day.
Yeah.
Don't close that.
Yep.
Just wondering, since you guys are state, city.
If nobody is pressuring me to get stuff through P&Z, you know.
Okay, I only have
I'm
one.
not sure, do they call it?
One,
Columbus Day
I have a
anymore, or do they
motion. Do I have a
just-
second?
I think it just
A
depends.
second to adjourn.
Samuelson will second.
Thank you.
Oh,
All
sorry.
in favor, say aye.
Sorry.
That's
Aye. Aye.
Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
I just didn't want the meeting to adjourn.
I know there's no school that day, so I didn't know.
Yeah, no, we've,
I took your
that's
advice.
one that we have not taken off.
Not very.
Well, I think we've had school out on Columbus Day before.
I don't know. I know there's none this year.
Interesting.
Oh, there's no school?